Good day, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Albino Rhino Beer Review. Today, we are looking at a beer. We're looking at two beers at the same time because they're different batches. But we're looking at a beer from a brewery that I've heard a lot about. There was talk about this brewery for a while. I'm trying to remember exactly when I first heard talk about this brewery. I think 2012, maybe the beginning of 2013 or near the end of 2012. So 1 or 2 years I've been hearing about this stuff. But this is from Strathroy. This is from the Strathroy Brewing Company. They have one beer at the moment, and that beer is this one. It is the 1812 Independence Pale Ale. So 1812 Independence Pale Ale. We'll put one right here. I have another one right here. The reason I have two is I have two different batches. I have a very fresh batch, and I have an aged batch. The way they were differentiated for me is it looks like tuck tape, actually, which is great because I laugh. I've actually packed boxes in tuck tape, but tuck tape's a very expensive tape, and sometimes it's all I've had, so I've packed boxes with it, but it looks like tuck tape to me. Anyway, so 5.5% alcohol on these. I apparently have batch 5 and batch 8. I had sent in batch 5 uses a cap that apparently is really hard to remove. Batch 8 is a new manufacturer for their crowns, which comes off nicer. That's great. He told me his tasting notes for each of these. I'm not really going to care about that. I'm going to tell you what I think. So this one is the one that comes off hard, and I remember thinking it was a pop top. Like, I'm a strong guy, and I can't get that off with my bare hand. I can't even really get it off with a shirt. So that's just to show that. So we'll pop this one. So the left side will be the old one. Then we got the this guy here, and that just pops off. Now my big comment was about the I had to crash cool these. They had the slow march of death, but that's okay. So we're gonna pour these into the Albino Rhino beer. Oh fuck! That's not his beer's fault. That's my fault. I jumped the gun a little bit. I wanted my beer faster than I should have. We're pouring them into the Albino Rhino Beer Tuber Palooza glasses from this year. So the beer festival I threw. So first and foremost, great idea changing your bottle caps. This company, whoever makes your bottle caps for your new batch, much better than your old batch. They fly right off. And I mean, nobody wants to see a twist off that they can't get into. They really don't. So they pour about the same color. This guy here, the fresher one, it looks a much less filtered beer. And it also has head, but I did fuck the head up. And I just spilled some on my counter. But hey. Visual appeal, I easily give the win to the fresher batch. The fresher batch has just that less filtered look, and that head is sticking around. There was a little bit of head on this when I poured it, but it didn't stick around, so I must give visual appeal marks to the fresher batch. Smell? See, he had sent me a message about this one having more fruit esters in it, and this one being more hop forward, and the one more hop forward was the older batch. The fruit esters, the better yeast or better fermentation temperature, being the newer batches. But I don't know if it's the age on them, or if it's just my senses. but they basically smell identical. They both have an almost under-attenuated scent to them, almost like all the sugars weren't fermented out, just a very strange candied sweetness to them. I mean, they smell a lot like, I shouldn't say strange candied sweetness, that's not fair to the brewer or to the company. They smell a lot like something, a lot like a Belgian, where a Belgian candy sugar would be used. That's the smell I'm getting off of them. I'm not picking up much hops, I'm not picking up much malt, I'm just picking up a residual sweetness. Again, not a bad smell to pick up, just not what I'd expect from a pale ale, but that is diverging from the point of whether or not this is a good beer. We don't always stick on styles. So let's look at the beers. Let's try them. Cheers, guys. Okay. 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 So for me personally, I do like the fresher batch more than the older batch. Whether or not that's a difference in the brewing or just the freshness, I'm not 100% sure, because I mean, mattering what hops they use, the hops could have faded, they could have done this, they could have done that. But here's what I'm getting. The fresher batch is supposed to be the peach esters, the this, the that. Tasting notes, no matter what a bottle says, no matter what a person tells you, even what I tell you, don't listen to that. Listen to what your body's telling you. This one, not really as fruity estered as was expected from my introduction to the beers from the brewery owners. This one, not as hoppy as this one, but again, that could be the age. What I'm getting, a slight dirty hoppiness, a slight candy taste, again like a beet sugar, like an invert sugar, like a Belgian candy sugar, like an under attenuated beer, and a almost biscuity maltiness. What I'm getting on this side, basically a higher output of hops on this, and again I'm getting like a dirty earthy hop. He was talking about peach esters and stuff. I could see where somebody would say that, would recommend that as a tasting note, would feel that's there. For me, I'm not really getting it. I'm getting again a like almost Belgian sweetness on it. However, taste-wise, scent-wise, and look-wise, I like the fresher bottle better. So we're just going to do tasting notes on the fresher bottle, and this is what I'm suspecting his recipe is now going to be more of. Yeah, I mean, as a pale ale, it comes off more like an English pale ale than an American pale ale, than a New Zealand pale ale, than anything other than that pale ale. It's coming off more like an English style pale ale. Excuse me, I'm not getting the fruity esters, but that's fine. We all get whatever we get. Not getting it. As a standard pale ale, it's good. It is. I mean, I can't say it's a bad beer. There is a little bit, again, of an under-attenuated sweetness to me, but that's just to me. I mean, whether or not you pick it up is up to you, well, up to your taste buds. Whether or not you feel the same way is up to you. it's not a bad beer. It really isn't. $45, I believe it is, for a 2-4. As a craft beer drinker in Ontario, not a bad price. Is it a great price? No, it's not a great price. But that's coming from a guy that drinks in places where I can get $30 2-4s of beer, be it Great Lakes Red Leaf Lager or Horseshoe Golden Lager, or the Cause and Effect by Nickelbrook, or many other things like that. But in the scheme of things, $45 for a 2-4 craft beer, regular price for craft beer in Ontario. Cameron's, Nickelbrook, stuff like that. Yeah, it is in the realm of regular prices. Strathroy's only brewery, well, craft brewery, only brewery period, I believe, so, which gives them another little leg up on the market, that they're the only ones there. Is it a bad beer? No. Is it a bad introductory beer? No. Would I like to see more creativity? Yes. Would I like to see more ingenuity? Yes. Would I like to see more inventiveness? Yes. But do I expect it? No. When you're opening up a craft brewery in a place that doesn't have craft breweries already, I don't expect that. I expect something like this. Can I say anything bad about this? Not anything other than the almost under-attenuated sweetness that I've talked about so many times. I just keep repeating myself, but I mean, that's the only drawback I can say about this beer. Is it a good pale ale? Yeah, it's an acceptable, drinkable pale ale. Is it a great pale ale? Not by any stretch of the means, but it is acceptable, and it is a great cottage beer. It's a great backyard beer. It is a great sharing with your friends beer. It's a great, hey, you don't like craft beer? Try this beer. That being said, out of 10, I could give it a 7 out of 10. I would buy it on the odd occasion that I'm in Strathroy. If I'm in Strathroy and it's on tap, I'd buy it. If I'm in Strathroy and I'm passing through to go camping, I'd buy it. If I'm around and it's there and it's my choice over anything else, yeah, I'd buy it because it's local. It's made by somebody that loves beer, and it isn't bad. Are there beers I love more? Of course, of course. I'm not bad-mouthing the brewery at all. It is a great thing. I'd love to sit down and chat with them on camera, like I did with Innocente, with Nickelbrook, with the 30 other breweries I've done it with. I'd love to sit down and chat with them. Basically because I'd love to sit down and chat with anyone that loves beer. But again, it's not anything that makes me want to jump out of my seat and run out and get it. But it's not anything that I feel like I wasted my money once I bought it. Again, if you buy this, I would suggest crash cooling it, which is putting it in your fridge for a few days. Well, not even in your fridge, but if you have a fridge that is a cool fridge, as in you have it set a little lower, throw it in there, because, I mean, if the beer was under-attenuated, it makes sense. If the beer wasn't, it still makes sense. I mean, if there's any sugars left over at all, that slow march death, as I call it, which is when you open the bottle and the yeast just the beer just slowly foams out, so very, very slowly, but keeps doing it. That's what I had. I opened up 2 bottles, I had that, I dumped the 2 bottles, I crash cooled the rest, none of the rest have done it to me. It's a fine beer, I enjoy drinking it, and you'll probably enjoy drinking it too. I just suggest crash cooling it. To the guys at Strathroy, good luck. If you end up making anything else, let me know. If you'd like to be in a beer... Oh, fuck. I'm getting horrible at talking. I'm not on camera very often anymore because I'm either with my kids or working and nothing else. But if you want to be in a beerumentary, let me know. I'll try and get out there to do one with you. Or we can try and meet somewhere in the middle and do one, like somewhere at a restaurant or something, at one of your licensees or something, and do one. And if you watched this long, again, thank you. Thank you, Colgate. Thank you, guys. I know I've rambled on for so long on this video. I'm sorry. I apologize. Hopefully you guys are watching still. If you're not, I understand.